So there's been a lot of talk about change for the past 18 months, and the question I'm asking, and I'll ask, wait, let me get your names. Yours?
My name is Bob Potter.
Bob, and you're Steve.
And this is Steve.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we'll just wait, no, I got your, there you go, there you are.
We're with Veterans for Peace here in Santa Barbara, and we have a memorial here called Arlington West that we've been doing every week since November of 2003. Steve was actually the person who got it started, but I've been working on it through most of that time. So for the past 5 years, we've been asking for change. We've been trying to demonstrate the necessity for change through the cost of the current war in terms of human lives, especially, not just Americans, but particularly American soldiers, also Iraqis. So change, I think, in the most pressing instances, comes from a situation which is so impossible that it can't continue, that has to be changed. I would differentiate between things which it would be nice to change, and like you might think about changing your car, and getting a newer one. But when your car breaks down and is a total wreck, you have to change. I think that the situation that happened over the 8 years of the Bush administration was such a catastrophe that in the end it became clear to a huge majority of people in this country, not to mention around the world, that change was not only desirable, it was mandatory. It was as if we had a ruined house that had to be torn down and started over again, or a car that was a total wreck, or that a major operation was needed in someone's life. So I think change isn't just a matter of will, it's often a matter of necessity. So I believe we are in a time, and this is a favorable thing about a difficult time, that where things are so bad that they just have to be changed.
What will be signs to you that change is happening?
When signs to me that things will be happening are for instance, application of science rather than superstition.
What's an example of that?
Well, I believe that many of the decisions that were made in the Bush administration were based on unsubstantiated prejudices, old wives' tales, and other things. For instance, the way that they operated on the way they just reacted to the notion of stem cells by trying to ban them. This is like trying to get the waves down, not to crash. It's necessary that we move ahead with that kind of technology, that we have it to save people's lives, to repair people who are irreparably damaged. So just in that one area, there was prejudice operating. A number of their reactions to social problems in the country demonstrated prejudice and appealed to people's worst fears about other groups rather than summoning them to do better. But in terms of the Iraq War, the failure of it necessitated a change of policy, and that change of policy was not just dictated by Barack Obama saying that he would get the troops out. It was because thousands and hundreds of thousands of people had come to the realization in this country and elsewhere that the present policy was a disaster and was just leading to death and destruction. And in the end, even the Iraqi government we installed realized that was in their interest to demand of us, and they were pleased to adopt Barack Obama's suggestion as something that they wanted to become American policy. So I think in that instance, change was a mandatory result of the failure and disaster. So I think change can come about ahead of time and I'd like to see more of that kind of change in the years to come, where we think ahead to a problem before it becomes totally disastrous and change our policy. Global warming might be an example, where things are threatening now, but will become realities later. We shouldn't wait until necessity makes us change. We should change now because we can foresee. We can look ahead to the future.
So two things that you've said that will be signs of change. One is using science and evidence rather than intuition or prejudice, is the word that you use. And the other is to use our kind of good thinking to see ahead.
Yes.
And change before it's too late.
When if you're a good driver, you anticipate possible accidents before they happen,
right,
rather than when they start to happen and react at the last minute and maybe get out of it if you're lucky.
Right.
Both involve a change of direction of the car, but the one is a more intelligent kind of change. So I look for that to be the hallmark of the new era that we're in, which I think is an era where we use our brains. Barack Obama is above all else a brilliant man who looks beyond the present situation into the future and anticipates. That is a great quality in a leader, and that's one of the things that's sorely lacking, is his understanding of the need for forethought, rather than simply relying on old ways of doing things and thinking that they'll get you through. So I believe that we'll measure the success that he has by his ability to think ahead, to get the public to start thinking ahead and anticipate and behave, in short, with the intelligence that we have to avoid the problems that could come in the future. And I'm optimistic now. I've got 5 grandchildren. It's their world that I've been worried about, not so much mine, because they will have a long time to deal with whatever consequences of our actions follow. And I truly feel that their future is in good hands now, and that though the government we have now is not perfect, and it is certainly a government full of intelligence and anticipation and the application of forethought rather than hindsight.
This is great.